बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम एंड गुड मॉर्निंग टू माय स्टूडेंट्स। क्या हाल चाल है आपके? उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप लोग खैर खैरियत से होंगे। आपकी इत्तला के लिए अर्ज़ है कि चैनल उर्दू मैथमेटिक उर्दू शुरू होने वाला है। इस नाम से शुरू होगा और इंशाल्लाह जल्द ही उसकी पहली जो अ, वीडियो है वो आने वाली है। जी, ये मेरे चंद बहुत ही प्यारे स्टूडेंट्स ने ये फरमाइश की थी कि हमें उर्दू में भी समझाया करें। सो आई एम हियर। जैसे कि मैंने आपको कहा था कि आई एम ऑलवेज हियर टू सॉल्व योर प्रॉब्लम्स। तो आई हैव क्रिएटेड अ न्यू चैनल। द नेम ऑफ द उर्दू चैनल इज मैथमेटिक उर्दू. The mathematic will remain as it is in English, but in Urdu I'll be delivering the same lectures throughout in Urdu. So let's start with our new topic. And one of my student has also asked that what kind of course it is. So my dear student, this is the course. You can yeah, check it that it is written that Cambridge IGCSE. It is Cambridge IGCSE mathematics course, and it is for the students of IGCSE and O levels, and it is written by Karen Morrison and Nick Hamshaw. So this is the course, as you can see, and this is for Cambridge students. So our last topic of the lines, angles and shapes will be circles. Now circles have some very distinct features. Let me draw one circle. So dear students, you see this is a circle. Now it has some features in it. The definition of the circle be, so this is a fixed point over here which is called the center of the circle. This is a fixed point. Let me call it a P. Now this is P and this is a fixed point. I have drawn the circle in front of you on the whiteboard. You have noticed that this point was fixed. This point was fixed and this was the moving point all around. Now you see that this point has an equal distance from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. At each and every instant, at each and every instant, the distance of this circle or the outer line which I have drawn, I'll tell you later on what is the outer line. The distance of the outer line from this point will remain the same throughout the circle. Now this is the exact definition of the circle. सर्कल की डेफिनेशन क्या है? सर्कल की डेफिनेशन ये है कि अगर आपके पास एक पॉइंट है उसके गिर्द अगर एक लाइन ड्रॉ की जाए जिससे उसका फासला हर तरफ से बराबर हो, यानी यहां से बराबर, यहां से, यहां से, यहां से, यहां से, थ्रू आउट किसी भी एक पॉइंट से इसका फासला बराबर हो, तो उसको हम सर्कल कहते हैं. नाउ इन सर्कल देयर आर मेनी things which have to be noted, and that are called the parts of circle. These are called the parts of circle. Now what are the parts of circle? The parts of circle is that outer line which I told you. This is the outer line. This is called circumference. This is the circumference of the circle. Let me complete this circumference because it is missing from here. Okay, now it is completed. So this is this whole red line is called the circumference of the circus, and it has a certain formula to calculate this circumference. It has a a certain formula to calculate the circumference. The simplest being, if you tie one end of a thread over here, you just draw a nail over here and just tie a thread throughout this line with a glue or with whatsoever you have. Come over here, back to this, and then you let it straight, and then you let it straight. You'll see that the circumference, this line, if drawn straight, will be equal to 2 pi r, or that is very well equal to pi d. It is equal to pi d. Now what are these terms? I'll tell you, don't worry. So the length of the circumference is 2 pi r or pi d. Now where is the r, where is the d? Now let me tell you what are the features I am going to tell you today. Now I have already told you that this is the circumference, the outer line is the circumference, the center point is P. This is P, it is called the center point, and it has same distance all over this, from the P to the circumference, from 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 P to the circumference. The distance, the measure will remain the same. For example, you can see here that it is 15 centimeter. It is 15 centimeter. It is 15 centimeter. It is 15 centimeter. And 15 centimeter from all four places which I have measured. And if you measure the whole, you will find that it will remain the same. Now, there is one very important thing. In the circle, if I draw this line which is going through this point P, a line which is touching the two ends of the circumference. Now this line is touching the two ends of the circumference and is also passing from the center P. एक ऐसी लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं जो कि दो इस आउटर लाइन को, जिसको हमने सर्कमफ्रेंस कहा है, दो जगह पर मिल रही है, और न सिर्फ मिल रही है बल्कि ये P में से होकर गुजरती है जब। अदरवाइज ऐसी लाइन यहाँ पर भी बन सकती है, यहाँ पर भी बन सकती है, यहाँ पर किसी जगह भी बन सकती है, लेकिन क्या होगा कि वो P पॉइंट से भी गुजरनी जरूरी है, यानी सेंटर पॉइंट से। Now it is a line which is touching the two ends of the circumference and passing through point P. It is called the diameter. What is it called? Diameter. D, which is denoted here with D. And half of it, the half of the diameter from point P or the center point to the circumference. Let me draw another one. Now this is another one. So it is also passing from, if I extend it, you see that it could have been like this. So this is the half. It has started from point P and it has touched the circumference. Now it is called the radius of the circle. It is always same throughout the circle. As I told you, it is 15 centimeter here, 15 centimeter here, 15 centimeter here, 15 here, 15 here, and wherever you will check, this will remain as 15 centimeter or whatsoever it is. So radius, it is called the radius. Now, some more parts. We have done three parts so far: circumference, diameter, and radius. Now, some more parts are, now this, you see that this, let me rub this first. This diameter is bisecting the circle into two parts. When I say bisect, that means the upper half and the lower half are equal. Now this is also called chord. chord, chord. Now there is only one chord which is diameter. There is only one chord which is also diameter, and the chord which is diameter is drawn before you because it is passing through the center point P. It is the only chord. It is the only chord in a circle which passes through the diameter, which passes through the center point P, is also called diameter. Otherwise, the chord is like this. The chord is like this. Now this is, you see that it is also touching the circle, the circumference at 2 points. This is also touching the circumference at 2 points. It is a line which is dividing the circle into two parts. Now this part is called the minor part, and the whole, if I rub the diameter from here, you will then notice and you will then know that what we have done. Now this is a chord. You see that this is also touching the circle at 2 points at the circumference and dividing the circle into two parts which are not equal now. One part is minor and the other part is the major. Now what are the parts called? This part is called minor segment, and it is called the major segment. ये जब हम इस तरह की एक लाइन लगाते हैं जो कि दो पॉइंट्स पर इसको टच कर रही है, तो ये इसने इस सर्कल को दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड कर दिया। जो छोटा हिस्सा है उसको माइनर कहेंगे, जाहिर है जो छोटा है इट इज माइनर, और जो बड़ा हिस्सा है उसको माइनर सेगमेंट कहेंगे। तो ये दो सेगमेंट्स में डिवाइड हो गई है। इसी के साथ साथ अगर आप चेक करेंगे तो हमारी जो सर्कमफ्रेंस है, तो सर्कमफ्रेंस है दैट has also been divided into two parts. Now this part will be called minor arc. This part will be called minor arc from here to here. This is minor arc from here to here, and this part which is from here to here is called the major arc. Now this is major arc. This is respective to this chord, major arc. Now dear students, these were the few parts which I have told you: circumference, diameter, radius, chord, minor segment and major segment. Now if I color these minor segment, this is the minor segment and this is the major segment. Okay, this is the minor arc from here to here. This is the minor arc. This is minor arc, and this one is the major arc over here from here to here. Now it may be uh, done like this also. You see that this will be the minor segment and this whole will be the major segment. This will be minor arc, this will be the major arc, wherever you want to do. Now let me draw another figure. Now there are some other parts. This was our point P over here, the center point. Now if I draw this thing like this, if I draw two radii, the singular is radius and the plural is radii. Now you see that I have drawn two radii. Radius is singular. When we say radius, it means one radius. And when I say radii, means two or more. Now these are two radii. Two radii. Now you see that this circle has again been divided into two parts. One which we saw in the section of the chord. Now this is another section and it is called a sector. Now this is again, the smaller one will be called minor sector, and this whole will be called major sector. This is from here to here. This is major sector, this is minor sector. ओके, ये अगर हम इनको दो रेडियस मिला से इसको फिर बाइफरकेट करें, यानी इसको फिर से डिवाइड करें इस सर्कल को, लेकिन अब ये रेडियस सीधा नहीं है, ये हमने इस तरह करके कोई भी एक यहाँ से रेडियस और यहाँ से ये रेडियस ले लिया, तो ये जो दो हिस्से हुए हैं, इनको एक को हम माइनर सेगमेंट कहेंगे, एक को मेजर सेगमेंट कहेंगे। माइनर सेगमेंट ये है, ये इसके अंदर जो भी एरिया आ रहा है ना, दैट इज कॉल्ड माइनर सेगमेंट। के अंदर जो कुछ भी आ रहा है दैट इज मेजर सेक्टर। ये सारा मेजर सेक्टर है, ये सारा मेजर सेक्टर है, ये सारा माइनर सेक्टर है। तो आगे चलते हैं। आई थिंक दिस इज द लास्ट टॉपिक ऑफ द लाइन्स, शेप एंड लाइन्स, एंगल्स एंड शेप्स। तो अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि जो सबसे पहले हमने इसके अंदर लाइन लगाई थी, दैट वाज, व्हाट वाज दैट? डायमीटर। So again we have drawn a line which is passing through point P. This is point P. Remember, this is, when I say point P, then it is the center point, okay, where we used to put this leg over here, this leg, and then we draw. So this is point P and this line is passing through point P. Of course this is diameter, which I have told you. Now this part is called, I have told you in very beginning that it will divide this circle into two equal parts. So this part will be called semicircle. Semicircle. And similarly this one also will be called semicircle. Now this is semicircle. Semi means half. जब हम एक डायमीटर से सर्कल को डिवाइड करते हैं तो दो सेमी सर्कल्स बनते हैं, एक ये वाला एक ये वाला, तो हमें सेमी सर्कल जो है वो मिल जाता है। दिस इज कॉल्ड सेमी सर्कल। सो a diameter cuts the circle into two semicircles, number 1 and number 2. These are called semicircles. And the last is the angle at the circumference. Now the last part of the circle is the angle at the circumference. Now my dear students, if I draw this again from here with black marker, now you see I am going to rub this from here to here, okay. If I get the proper, okay, you see I have drawn this arc over here with black color, okay. What I am going to do is I am going to draw some lines over here again. So you see that this is a line, this is, now what is this? This is a chord. This is minor segment, this is major segment, or this is minor segment, major segment. I am going to draw one more chord over here. Now this is one more chord over here. You see that I have drawn two chords over here. दो chords लगा दिए मैंने जनाब यहाँ पर, एक ये chord लगा दी है, एक ये. अब सेंटर पॉइंट यही था बदस्तूर, ये सेंटर में से नहीं गुजर रहे हैं. सेंटर पॉइंट was P, this is Q, this is R, this is S. तो क्या हुआ कि ये देखें कि इसने एक एंगल बनाया जिसको मैं थीटा कह लेता हूं. Now this angle is called the angles on the circumference. This angle theta is angle on the circumference. Angle on the circumference. This is the angle of the circumference. So you see that if this is the minor arc, this is the major arc. The red one, the black one is the minor arc. This angle has been created by the help of two chords meeting at one point. So this is an angle. SQR is an angle which is called angle on the circumference. Now this was the angle on the circumference. So the parts of the circles are completed. There is an exercise ahead of us. Let me see the time now. Now one more thing, that is not the part of the circle, okay, which is not the part of the circle, but it is, you can say that it is the allied part which only exists when circle is there. Now what is that? Now this is the point P over here in. Now you understand that I always call the center point as P. Now if I draw here a radius, now this is the radius over here. This is, what is this? This is radius R. Now you see that this radius is touching the circle at circumference at some point. Let us say that this is point Q over here. Now this is point Q over here. I'll draw it here because I need this space. Now this is Q point here. This one is the Q point. Okay, this one. So if I draw a line here such that now there is a condition over here. There are two conditions of this line, which is called T. Now this line T has two conditions. Now it touches the circle at point Q only. T touches the circle or circumference, you can say, circle at point Q, or only one point. At only one point. Only one point, you can say. Only one point, and the name of that point I have assigned is Q. And the second reason or the condition is that it should be 90 degree to it. Now T is perpendicular to PQ. Now there are two conditions, number one and number two. Now these two conditions says P touches the circle at only one point, which is assigned as Q. T is perpendicular to PQ. So T is also perpendicular. You see this sign, and you must have recognized this. Now T is also perpendicular to PQ. Then this T will be called, what will it be called? It will be called tangent. This will be called tangent on this circle. Okay. Now this is called tangent on the circle. We must have two conditions, valid conditions, that T touches the circle at point Q and it is also perpendicular to PQ. अगर हम इस सर्कल के बाहर जो कि एक पॉइंट पर इसको टच करे, एक ऐसी लाइन लगा दें जो कि सिर्फ एक पॉइंट पर इसको टच करे, दैट इज एट वन पॉइंट, एक पॉइंट पर टच कर रही है, और वो पॉइंट और ये जो रेडियस है अगर आपस में परपेंडिकुलर बना रहे हैं, 90 डिग्री बना रहे हैं, तो ये जो लाइन मैंने ड्रॉ की है बाहर सर्कल के, इसको कहेंगे टेंजेंट. So there is a question ahead of us which is coming as a tangent, but remember that this is not the part of the circle. ये सर्कल का पार्ट नहीं है, ये सर्कल से आउट है. This is not the part of the circle, but it is the allied thing which always comes with the circle. Now there is question number one, which we are going to do. The only question which I am going to do today is question number one, because time is running short and I have to finish the lecture today. Now, dear students, this exercise does not have any worked examples, so we are going direct to exercise 3.8. Exercise 3.8 and question number one, part ABC. Okay. Now there are three parts drawn over here, which are part A first. We'll discuss one by one by one. Now there it is asked that name the features shown in blue. So you see this part A and this is blue part. Now it has been asked that name the features shown in blue on these circles. Now this is the blue which is shown in this circle. So this is called a diameter. What is it called? A diameter. This is a diameter. प्यारे बच्चों, ये पूछा गया है एक्सरसाइज 3.8 के अंदर, पार्ट ए के अंदर के जो ब्लू इसके अंदर फिगर है वो क्या है, तो ये डायमीटर है. ये देखिए, ये ब्लू लाइन लगी हुई है, ये डायमीटर, इसको डायमीटर कहते हैं. नंबर 2 जी. तो पार्ट बी जो है, मेरे पास ब्लू मार्कर इस वक्त अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो मैं इसको ऐसा करता हूँ, रेड मार्कर से बना देता हूँ. सेम. नाउ यू माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, यू हैव noticed that I have overdrawn this figure with red color. In fact, it should have been a blue, but I don't have blue at the time. It is exhausted. So what is this? This is a major arc. It is starting from here. This arc is starting from here and it ends up over here somewhere. So from here to here, it is called major arc because only colored is asked. Now this is a major arc. This is a major arc. Okay, now the next is this one. I am again using. So this is asked over here. It is called radius. Okay, part D. This one is asked over here. This one is asked. So it is, and it is colored blue over here in your book. This is blue. So this part is asked. This is minor segment. What is it? Minor segment. Part D. Part E. Part E is a simple chord over here. And yes, this is blue. This is blue. I am drawing it with red. This is blue. This is chord. This is chord. C-H-O-R-D, chord. And the last is again a chord over here. And this whole is colored. This whole area is colored over here with blue because it is asked in your book. It is blue. So this is minor, major, major. Now this is the major segment. This is called major segment. If this was asked, this was minor segment. This is asked, this is major segment. This is GEF. Now, I think the time has finished. I'll just repeat these three figures in Urdu also. ये बच्चों पूछा गया है, ये आपकी बुक के अंदर ब्लू कलर से है, मैंने रेड में बनाया है। तो ये बनाया है इस तरह करके। ये पूछा गया कि व्हाट इज दिस, ये क्या फिगर, ये इतना हिस्सा ये क्या कहलाएगा। अभी हमने पढ़ा है शुरू के अंदर, इसको हम कहते हैं माइनर सेगमेंट। ये भी ब्लू के अंदर लिखा गया हुआ है, वहां पर बनाया गया हुआ है। तो इसको हम क्या कहेंगे, ये कॉर्ड है, ये कॉर्ड की प्रॉपर्टीज हैं दोनों, ठीक है। इसको कॉर्ड कहेंगे। और ये जो कलर हुआ हुआ है रेड कलर से, ये पूछा गया है कि ये क्या है। ये सिर्फ पार्ट्स पूछे गए हैं पहले क्वेश्चन में आपसे, तो ये है मेजर सेगमेंट। So my dear students, it's is all from today, all for today, and मेरे उन बच्चों के लिए जो कि उर्दू में इसको सीखना चाहते हैं, तो आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट माय उर्दू चैनल एज आई टोल्ड यू इन beginning of the, it is Mathsnetic Urdu. There's some technical issues coming in this, so it is not has been started yet, but I hope in the next week I launch this. Uh, I launch this channel also on YouTube. It's time to say you goodbye. Allah Hafiz.